Hi fashion lovers, welcome to Favored Design. My name is Favor. In today's video, I'll be teaching you guys how I sewed this beautiful bustier gown with a buff hand. And please, if today is your first time of coming across this video, do well to check on my previous video to see how I cut this gown, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to always be notified whenever I upload any video. I've gone ahead to cut out the fabric with the pattern drafting. The next thing I'm going to do is to separate them and then join the back neckline. So I'm going to place this lining on the back neckline and then go over to the sewing machine to join it. I'm done joining the back lining. This is this one side back lining and then top stitch on the lining. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to join the both sides. So I'm going to sew on the zipper side and also stitch on the armhole side, just like this, and the other side. After joining the back piece, I went ahead to iron both the back piece and the front piece. The front piece, I also iron it with my Aztec gun. For the back piece, I gave a line for my zipper allowance where I will follow to put my zip. See how neat the back piece is already given. It's given already. I'm going to fold the back piece just like this and then keep it aside. The next thing is to start working on the front piece lining. So for this lining, I'll go over to the sewing machine and join it. I'm going to take one side of the front and then join it just like this, and then start top stitching from the down side. So when top stitching your own, you don't top stitch from the armhole side, you top stitch from the west side, like you start sewing from down to upper side. Then for the center front, I'm going to be cutting out a pressed pad that I'll use to pad it for our bustier. I place this material just like this to trace it out. I removed the center front from the pad I placed on it earlier. So the purpose of folding this pad is for me to place this fabric back to know if the actual length I want will be achievable. So I have to be placing it, shifting it to get the exact measurement. If you observe very well, you notice that on that center front I gave a line, a straight line where I'm pointing now. So that line is where her underbust stops, and I'm using that line to trace out this padding. So I have to place it just like this again to just know how to get my padding. So after all trials of how to place this material on the padding, so I've finally done it. I'm going to cut it out now. So just watch carefully. If you are cutting, be watching well so that you will not cut the fabric. So I'm cutting it out. I'll also cut this other side. After cutting the center front padding, I'm going to cut out the side front padding. So just watch carefully to see how I'm doing it. This other side, I folded the front padding into two, then place this front side fabric. So I'm going to place it on this padding to use it to trace it out. So remember, While placing your own, just place the padding under your bust. After cutting out the side pattern, I have to trim it and then give it a notch for me to know the side I will be placing it for padding. Then I also notch the downside. The downside is the side that will face the underbust. The next thing I'm going to do is to take this front fabric to the machine to join them. I'm done joining the front fabric. I also joined the front and back piece together, so I used 1.5 inches to join them, and then I left a hole here. I did not start from the armhole, so I gave about 2 inches for where I will join the hand of this clothes, that is the off hand. So if you observe well, this top is already given and is looking neat. The next thing I'm going to do is to go and give it a thorough ironing. The next phase here is to sew the downside, which is the skirt side. Remember that this gown has a cut, so to get, I did not show how I cut the downside. So to get your measurement for the downside, you're going to subtract your shoulder to waist from your full length. Your shoulder to waist, you're going to subtract your shoulder to waist from your full length, and then the remaining inches is what you use to bring out the downside, which is the skirt side. So her full measurement is about 37 inches, so I have to subtract her shoulder to waist. Then the remaining inches is what I use to cut it out. The next thing is to go over to the sewing machine and join it. I'm done joining it. So this is it. I'm done joining it. The next thing now is to open it just like this and then go over to the sewing machine and stop stitch on it. I'll also do the same to the other side of the skirt. After stop stitching on this lining, I'm going to fold it just like this. So I'll fold it just like this and then close the two sides. You don't close, when you are closing the two sides, you don't also close the west side. It's only the two sides that you're going to close. Then you turn it over from the west side. So I'm going to sew everything together, both the front side and the remaining side of the skirt. So this is the final look of this skirt. I'm done joining everything and then I gave it a thorough ironing. See how neat it's already looking. Then I also iron my zipper line. So I use iron to give it a line where I'm going to close, then put her zip. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is to put the skirt dart. So I'll measure from the zipper side towards this other side, then use her nipple to nipple measurement to put the dart, both the front piece and the back piece. I'll be using about 4.7 inches for this dart, after which I'm going to use 1.5 inches to join the skirt. I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches from the waistline down to the full length. After which I'm going to, after marking the lines, I'm going to join the lines. I will join the lines down to the waistline. Then I will flip over to the front side and still mark 1.5 inches from the waistline down to the full length. After marking this line, I'm going to connect the lines down to the waist, then go over to the sewing machine to join it. I'm done joining the skirt. So this is it. It's looking beautiful already. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the skirts and the half length. I'm going to mark the center of this front. I'll fold it into two, then notch the center. After marking this place, I'm going to place it on the center of this skirt. I'll place it just like this. Watch carefully. I'm going to place it just like this and then use my pin to pin it. I'm going to pin the front side. The purpose of pinning this thing is for you to know the side facing the front and the side facing the back side, the back piece. So I'm going to be pinning this fabric or this dress down to the other side. I'll also turn it to the wrong side and pin it. After pinning it, I went over to the sewing machine to join it. So this is the outcome of this clothes. It's already given. So I have to turn it to the right side to arrange this case. So I've not given it another ironing. I'm still going to iron it when I'm done with the full length. Then the next thing is to place the zip and go over to the sewing machine to join the zip. The next thing to do now is to cut out the hand. So this fabric is folded into 4. That means I'll be cutting both hands together. So I measured about 10 inches for the length. Then I'll use this pattern drafting to cut it out. I'll first use my chalk to make a line. I'll draw a line under this place just like this. Then after connecting this line, I'm going to follow this line and then cut it out for the hands. Before then, I also place that spread and stitch method to know if what I'm tracing out is still okay. So I'm going to be cutting this fabric out. So this is the hand. After cutting it out, I'm going to cut out another fabric that we'll use for the lining. I think I didn't show the video, but I cut out another fabric I used for the lining. Then go over to the sewing machine and join it. After joining the off hand with this cloth, this is the final look of this cloth. Is already given and she loves it. This is the end part of this tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, please drop a comment on the comment section and don't forget to like, share and comment. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell to always be notified whenever I upload any video. Thank you for watching. Bye.